Boro Council meeting at Whitehall Boro. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And this evening, we had a executive session regarding litigation matters and lawsuits. Residents are to sign in to speak during citizens' requests. Speakers are allotted 3 minutes to present their initial comments. All meetings will be recorded auditorily and visually. Roll call, please, Ms. Schwartz.
Ms. Book?
Here.
Mrs. Pugh?
Here.
Mrs. Eicher?
Here.
Mrs. Reddy?
Here.
Mrs. Thomas? Here. Mrs. Dobrowski?
Here.
Mr. Deep?
Here.
Mayor Noah?
Here.
Mr. Furman?
Here.
And Mr. Rasmussen?
Here.
Thank you. Now for our citizens' request. Eric Crane, please stand and state your name and address.
Eric Crane, 201 Southview Drive. Just one thing with, it might be a good idea if the budget will allow to put a bicycle rack up by the pool. I notice bikes chained along fences and stuff like that. You just put it up like near the entrance booth for next year, if it's available. That's all, thank you.
Thank you.
Great idea.
It is a good idea. All right.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'll look at it.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's a great idea. It's okay.
Cheryl Scheffler.
Stand and state your name and address, please.
Hi, Cheryl Scheffler, 4807 Baptist Road, the last 22 years. As you all know, I filed a right to know to receive some records that were going to be destroyed, trashed, and for Doverdale. I just want you to know, this is all I received, one page over a $3 million project. I think it's a disgrace. I want to know what they're trying to bury, that the public is not allowed. And I understand that there's some things that are client and Whitehall Borough privilege. I understand that is probably the fact that an easement was signed with an improper board with the Baldwin Manor Association. I understand that the gentleman that signed that had a diagnosis of cognitive decline at that time, that the board owes only 2 and there should have been 9. I understand there was a gentleman's handshake, which Gateway gave an estimate of $10,000 to actually pave the lower pathway, and that never happened. When we demanded to know what the money was for, we couldn't take a penny until you put it in writing. It was so the Baldwin Manor Association did not have any legal action against Whitehall Borough for the damage they were causing from the rolling hills to come in there. All I can say is I don't expect anything, but I just wanted everybody to see this is all I got from over a $3 million project. I'm one of the owners of that private park. That is my business. I'm also a taxpayer of this borough for 22 years. And I know there was a bunch of controversy about these right-to-knows and being destroyed. I truthfully feel that there's a bunch of skeletons being buried here. And I will tell everybody this story. And I'm not proud of Whitehall Borough for this action. Thank you for your time.
And Shepard, to be clear, you're talking about 2 different projects. The right to know that you filed was for the 2014 Doverdale project, which is a CCTV. The 2017 Doverdale project, that's still being retained. The Doverdale project on the purge list, which you had requested,
Yes.
was for a CCTV project in 2014.
So
not
2017, I can file right to know for that.
That still exists. in
That
the
still
records.
exists.
Yes, that was not.
That's
Doverdale
not
filed
being
that you had
purged.
requested.
That's not being purged.
Correct. They're 2 separate projects. So I just want to clarify that.
Okay.
Thank you for your Next, we have Lori Bickle.
Yeah.
Sam, please state your name and address.
I'm Bickle on Lake Coastal Drive. 6th meeting in 24 years. So it's been brought to my attention there's a few council people that have no intentions of ever fixing this water issue that's occurring for 24 years now on West Club Drive. I'm really sorry to hear that. This is the poor lady told me the information. I've only been coming a few meetings to hear that. Friday, the waterfall coming through that yard was unbearable. I have videos for you all to see. I would like to show everyone, even if it's later at the end of the meeting. You need to see it in person if you haven't already. It's been brought to my attention, even some of the audience people told me that I should fix my own water problem Meanwhile, I want that big asphalt on Star City move, it still hasn't been done. How many more meetings do I have to go, another 24 years?
Well,
The other thing I
The engineer is gonna address that.
Okay.
In his report,
That's good.
yes.
I also come in today, I thought we could have a room arrangement that we talked about, I don't know if we talked about in the executive session, it's not that hard to change a camera. A young lady's back should never be towards us. Everybody should always be facing your audience, your elected officials. We all pay taxes here. Nobody's back should be towards us. All you gotta do is turn it, like I said, before an educator, I was a designer. It's not that hard to do. She shouldn't have to turn back and address this young lady here. Next thing. Monday, West Club Drive was like the Indy 500. There must have been a water problem on Brownsville. There was a do not, or a road closed at Curry. If you're looking at Brownsville, coming up Curry, make a right-hand turn. There was another road closed sign at East Club and West Club. When I tell you from 1:12, when my husband came home from his mother's, till 2:20 when he left, there was 137 cars turning in every single driveway. If a little kid would have been out there, a dog would have been out there. I was an adult and almost got hit.
1 minute.
I'll sum it up. I said to my husband, I'm calling the police. He said, don't even bother. You know why? The police already came down. As I was coming down, they were leaving. We thought people were having a party and going to park. It was a disaster. So the police came down and they didn't do anything about it. Where were the flaggers? I came in tonight on Southview, Pennsylvania Water again. They had their flaggers. The neighbor at the end had to put a barrel and brooms across it so people wouldn't come flying into his driveway and going into Pat's backyard. What the heck is going on? I'm sorry, Chief, but I'm really disappointed that the police weren't in on that too and left that scene. That was a disaster. The neighbors, we kept hearing all these noises, people, then I'm getting flicked off. I said, you have to slow down, people are going to get hit. Why should I get harassed on my street? That is terrible. So 3 issues, still about the water, six later. And then there's a no outlet sign. I think that no outlet sign or dead end should be, like at the streets that don't have that, because you can't turn around.
Okay.
So that and,
Well, thank
you
you,
know,
Lord.
flaggers and
I
stuff like
know
that.
the engineer
So.
addressed those
But, you
issues
know,
earlier.
I know the police are busy doing their things, but when my husband said one came down and nothing was happening there, I mean, it was a disaster.
Okay, you know what? What's that? Yeah, so, Chief, did you want to address anything about that occurrence on,
There was a utility
Monday.
emergency on Brownsville Road. I
It
can't
was by
remember.
McAnulty, it was the Pennsylvania Water.
It was either the water or the gas company.
Yes, I thought it was the water, like,
They were
today's.
I think they reduced the lane.
They
so
did not.
So they can work. They caused the traffic issue. I didn't realize that they didn't have flaggers there. At one point, the officers were busy on other emergencies. There was a house fire that happened later on. They were all over there blocking Baldwin Manor to keep the fire safe. We work with the utility contractors. We always ask them to give us timely notification. They don't. And they generally don't request us for traffic assistance when it comes to emergencies.
Well, this
They're
road here,
supposed
you
to-
can get around it a little bit better. There were flaggers tonight, and nothing on a one-way dead-end street. I'm telling you, when I left at 4 o'clock, they were still coming down. I mean, at one time, I thought the Fast and Furious were doing a movie. They all backed in, or pulled in, and I don't know how they didn't hit the cars. It was crazy. So I just wanted to bring that to somebody's attention. I don't want
I
anybody
would
to have
talk
to
to
go through that
Pennsylvania
again.
American Water to see what happens.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because it was a disaster.
I know, I drove up, I came down Brownsville Road, and it just said road closed. I mean, there wasn't any warning,
That's
you know,
where I
any
live,
warning ahead of
so
time. I did a U-turn and on Brownsville Road, came back another way.
Yeah.
And so it was crazy, you're absolutely
I looked
right.
at tick marks, I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I thought somebody was having the biggest party ever on their street.
Well, the notification aspect that the chief mentioned, we have to find out what happened there.
There
Thank you,
was,
Lauren.
I know there was an emergency utility.
Well, I don't want to just go, because I know you have other things, but I just couldn't believe the police were down and they
Well,
left.
that's
and
good,
then-
you brought that point up, so he can address that,
Yeah.
because.
And then they're gonna
fairness,
be working
there's
on
no
that
flaggers.
Brownsville Road with that storm sewer. I hope they let us know, because there's no way else to get out, but one way in, one way out. You know, so,
Okay.
we appreciate all the things. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have bills and payroll, Ms. Rhodes.
Madam President,
Motion made and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
I would ask for a motion to ratify checks and transfers from the general fund totaling $34,794.58, from the payroll fund totaling $62,432.75, for a grand total ratification in the amount of $97,227.33.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor say aye. Opposed?
I'm not opposed, I just wanted to have it on the record as, I understand in accordance with Whitehall Code 1,110, that payroll will continue as per Public Works Union contract.
So what did you say?
Yes. Yes. I am,
Okay.
yes.
Payroll, approving payroll.
Okay.
Yes, motion carries
Thank you.
with that comment.
Okay. Motion carries unanimously.
Next, I would like a motion to approve, or excuse me, ratify payroll for the pay date of August 23rd, 2024, in the amount of $213,431.38.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
There is an overtime list attached to that.
Thank you. We have next approval of the minutes of August 21, 2024, the regular council meeting.
There's no corrections. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of August 21st. Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We have a report of Mayor Noah.
Thank you, Madam President. First item I have is the monthly report for August 2024. EMS Assist 179, court hearings pre-trial 96, accidents 11, criminal arrests 13, traffic stops 128, traffic details 80, traffic violations citations 56, and traffic violations warnings 108. And there doesn't seem to be any, the statistics for 2023 are comparable. The only difference, significant difference is traffic stops. There was 128 in 2023, there were 84, so significantly more traffic stops. Monies collected and turned over to the borough during August 2024 total $2,584.65. Moving along, asphalt restoration work started last night on Baptist Road. Crews will be working from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. tonight and Thursday. It's unknown if this asphalt work will continue into next week, and the work zone is between Grove and Hamilton Road. So I'm glad that this is occurring. I saw someone at a local restaurant, recently, and the first thing he said, he lives on Tom Fran, and he said how, terrible it is coming down Baptist Road. So I'm glad this work is taking place. Registration is still open for the annual Whitehall Police Department Hunter Safety Program. It will be held on Saturday, September 21st, 2024 in the community room, and a link to the online registration portal is available on the police Facebook page. So if you know anybody who's looking for hunter safety training and certification, please inform them of this. All right, easy, do you have any, no park you did a great job. I'll give the fire company report. So I live in the neighborhood of a fire that recently took place on Old Boston, and I saw the next door neighbor to the fire walking his dog, and I asked him, I said, a lot going on in your neighborhood recently, and all I could talk about was what a great job the Whitehall Fire Company did. To come in and, the Whitehall Fire Company not only fights fires, but they come in with a mindset that we want to preserve as much of this property as possible, and they do things to try to protect, the property, owner's property, things like, I don't know if it happened in this case, but I can remember Chief Schmidt talking a long time ago about how he'll come in, throw tarps over furniture, so that it doesn't get water damage. So I will tell you that, reports are in our neighborhood, you did a fantastic job. So thank you.
Yeah, Mayor Nowak, can I add to that?
Yes, absolutely.
I was also there, as was Mr. Luchetti. The family got a fantastic response from not only our community, but from the neighboring communities. Really appreciated the quick response and how many departments came to help mitigate what could have been a much larger loss for their family. Also, being on the other side and kind of just being able to be there to support friends and neighbors and seeing how firemen were able to support their family by answering questions and being there for their kids with distraction methods and being friendly and do you want to come see the fire truck? Cannot say enough about their professionalism both with the fire but also with the community at large. So,
Appreciate that.
absolutely, great job.
All right, next item I have is a letter from a resident of Whitehall, Sherwood Drive. It says, Dear Mayor Nowak, I'm writing to describe an event which occurred on Sunday evening, August 25th of this year. We're contacted by the Whitehall Police Station staff member who informed us that a policeman on a routine patrol, observed a car in our driveway with a dome light left on. Thankfully, the officer had discovered the light before it had a chance to drain the car's battery. What a fortunate turn of events, as my daughter Marjorie had an early morning engagement the next day. I called the police station and learned that the very alert officer who saw the light was named Sergeant Budd. Officer Budd's care and concern for Whitehall residents is to be commended. Those of us living in Whitehall Boro are fortunate to have such a dedicated servant of the public welfare, and for that we are most certainly grateful. In a larger sense, it's safe to assume that his dedication is typical of the Whitehall Police Force generally. You have my permission to convey the contents of this letter to Sergeant Budd. He is worthy of our gratitude, and he signed it, but since he didn't give permission for me to share his name, I'm not going to share it, but needless to say, our police are doing a fantastic job as well, and I will never miss an opportunity to point out, if we did not have a dispatch center, this problem would have never been corrected, because what does a police officer do when he sees a light? Who does he call? He can't get a telephone number, but because we have a dispatch center that operates 24 hours, 7 days a week, he was able to call the dispatch center, and they were able to call the resident and take care of the problem. And this is not the first time that this happened, but I won't miss an opportunity to celebrate the way that we provide police services in Whitehall Borough. All right.
You also call when you leave your garage doors open.
That's true.
I wasn't naming it.
Somebody laughed. It might have just been a coincidence. All right. Lastly, I thought I'd share a story with you. I was asked as president of the Pennsylvania State Mayors Association to participate in a PCN Civics 101. And so I went to Harrisburg to do this. It was being taped at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I participated with someone who represented the county elected officials, someone who represented the county commissioners, someone who represented the school board association, and I was pleased to be able to represent local government, boroughs, cities, and townships. And I will say that the very last question, this is being done so that it can be shown to an audience of 5th through 12th graders. So this could be shown in the Baldwin Whitehall School District. The very last question was, what can young people do to participate in government? I was very pleased to be able to say that on the Whitehall Committee for Environmental Action, there are 2 9-year-olds and 1 high school senior, all of whom contributed to recycling in Whitehall Borough. I pointed out that the one 9-year-old is involved in marker recycling and has taken this project to her school, the Lutz school. The other one, also from Lutz, was involved in the Eclipse glasses recycling. And then the high school senior helped to institute the plastics recycling that we have here in Whitehall Borough in Baldwin Borough, and actually went to a Baldwin Borough meeting and made the pitch. So, this was an opportunity for us to share, what happens in our community, an opportunity for me to share what happens in our community, as well as to talk about local government to 5th through 12th graders throughout the state of Pennsylvania. So, thank you very much. Let me talk about that. That concludes my
Oh,
report.
certainly, mate. So tell everybody where they can watch this.
I'm not sure when it's going to be on. If you want to go on PCN's website and find out when it's going to be available.
They have the schedule come up on
Yeah.
that. Very good, that's great, Mayor. Any questions? Okay. Solicitors report, Mr. Furman.
Thank you. I do not have a report this evening.
Thank you. Good. Okay. Engineers report, Mr. Russmeyer.
Thank you, Madam President. We do have a written report to review with you this evening, stated August 30th. It will be brief this evening, and I don't believe that there are any approvals needed for payment tonight. Under item 2, the operation and maintenance plans, we have received all the contract documents from the contractors for the 2024 CCTV, sewer excavation, the lighting, and the spotlighting repair contracts. They were delivered to the manager for signatures this evening. On page 2, item 4, the Overlook Park. Just to make council aware, we did have a final punch list inspection with the contractors and consultants on August 28th. Representatives from Caliber, Hanlon Electric, First American Industries, and Controlled Climate Systems were present for the inspection. Items identified have been provided to the contractors, so corrections can be made.
Do we have a possible date to open that?
I will know more tomorrow after 11:30 on how the repairs to the asphalt parking and the railing will be made and what their timeline is.
Ballparking, are we thinking short or are we thinking a couple of weeks?
I would say it's a couple weeks.
All right. Safety first, thank you.
Yes. For phase 2 of Overlook Park, as the bituminous walkway and enters the Spring Valley, the project has been advertised, and you're looking at a bid opening date of October the 9th. Under item 10 on page 3, just the pool construction, the pool cover project, bids are due to the borough on September 11th. We'll see how that goes. Under item 12, the pavement maintenance.
So a question, could we back up on that? On the installing, is that something our public works can do?
No.
Okay, so is that gonna be an issue to, no,
No.
be able to get somebody to install it right away?
Will the cover be on before winter time?
That's my question, thank you. I mean, would you install it?
I'm not certain, Mr. Deacon, that it will be on during winter, but I think it can be installed.
During the winter, it has to be, well, first we have to have a, successful bidder, it has to be awarded, and the pool cover would have to be made. So there's gonna be some lead time, for that, as soon as, it can be installed. It will,
We have to drain the pool.
you have to drain the water down slightly when the pool.
Okay, we won't have to do,
I don't know, what you're on.
okay.
Should we be preparing them for winter and just delay the idea of covering it for next year once we are completely ready instead of spending?
I think we should receive the bid, once we receive bids, and have conversations with the contractor on that lead time, I think that decision can be made then. So you would be looking at the, your potential award is September 18th. So next meeting.
So we're
we
going to
should-
be
we should-
running the equipment up there until,
The pumps are still running.
clean out
winterize
the
it.
gutters and the baskets, and clean out the debris catchers.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Someone would have to go up and clean out the debris catchers.
So staff is still going to be on site. The pool kids are coming back this weekend, they're in school this week. They'll be doing their normal cleanup as far as putting the chairs and everything into the bathhouse, cleaning out the office, cleaning up the guard room, those things that they do. Public Works will also be up there doing, trying to revive the grass is our goal for this fall. So there will be staff up there, I think, until we get the pool cover bid and see what action council takes. Staff is not in a rush to winterize it. It is looking still warmish. They don't think there's a rush on the weather side. So we're not gonna play it by ear the next few weeks until you guys make a decision.
We're gonna have to do this every year. Get somebody to reinstall.
No, just the initial installation. I don't believe that it will be required. I believe that is something that the borough or the public works department could handle.
Just one more question about this. I understand that there was only one bidder who went to the measurement pre-qualification meeting, so one might expect one or possibly zero. I hope there's at least one pool covered bid happening come September 11th. Do I understand that correctly?
That's correct.
Okay.
Any other questions on that?
Okay.
Under item 12, the pavement maintenance program, Mealy and Mealy are working through the list of streets. Milling and binder has been completed, so that project could be wrapped up at the end of next week as far as the wearing course install goes. And then just finally not finally, but the last thing in the August 30th report on page 4 is the Mertza solar panels. It is on the same schedule as Overlook Phase 2. The project has been advertised, and the bid opening is slated for October the 9th at 11 a.m. And then finally, I do have a report for council regarding the West Club Drive and the existing drainage swale. It's a memorandum of the council. It's dated September 3rd. Gateway has reviewed the existing conditions of West Club Drive and the drainage swale to Curry Road. As currently constructed, West Club Drive is approximately 525 feet in length from its start at Brownsville to its terminus at 19 and 32 West Club, with a variable width ranging from approximately 17'6" to approximately 21'8". The roadway slopes away from Brownsville Road towards 19 and 32 West Club and was originally constructed without stormwater improvements. An asphalt wedge curb runs along the low side from Brownsville Road to the driveway at 19 West Club. Stormwater runoff currently flows from the roadway into the drainage swale located along the property lines of 4655 Curry Road and 19 West Club Drive. The swale then discharges into an existing yard inlet near 4655 Curry Road. The swale is comprised of bituminous pavement, vegetated earthen berm, a section of steel pipe laid on the surface of the ground, and landscape rock. As requested by Council, Gateway has reviewed the available deeds, agreements, and recorded plans to determine whether the existing swale can be replaced with storm sewer improvements. In order to construct the proposed storm sewer improvements, storm sewer easements will be required from the property owners of 4629 Curry Road, 4655 Curry Road, 19 West Club Drive, and 32 West Club Drive, as the existing swale is in an unrecorded 10-foot alleyway. Please note that the construction of the proposed storm sewer improvements will require tree clearing at 4629 Curry, 4655 Curry Road, and 19 West Club Drive. In addition, the elimination of the drainage swale will not change the subsurface groundwater conditions or ponding at 4655 Curry Road. A preliminary plan with an opinion of construction cost is attached to this memorandum, and if you have any questions, I can entertain them. this time.
Question, anyone?
I have a question that's totally unrelated to this, though, if nobody else has any questions. Regarding the whole West Club Drive, everything like that. The county apparently there's rumors that they might come in and put the 2 storm drains at the top of West Club in Brownsville. I was wondering, while they are there and while we have a line of communication open with them, I heard a lot of complaints and a lot of residents would like to see a stop sign on Brownsville at McAnulty there. Is that a possibility? Because I know it's a dangerous bend and there's been lots of talk about doing something about it. We put those, arrows and the speed thing in. But other people had mentioned that they would like to see a stop sign there, and I was wondering if you could maybe elaborate on that. Are we allowed to have a stop sign there, or?
We would
That's a
have to
traffic
go,
study.
we would have to go to the county owns the road. They would have to complete the traffic study to see if it's moving.
Yeah, it's highly, it's going to be highly unlikely. I can tell you that the residents of Brownsville Road came to the Whitehall Boro Council to try to, you might not even have been an officer from the chief. Several times. They came to council to try to slow the traffic down. So we had a traffic survey done. I think we had to pay for it because we were asking the county to slow it down. And they would not agree to have it slowed down. So I think the likelihood, meanwhile, the likelihood of them putting a stop sign in and stopping it completely when it didn't warrant a reduction in the speed is, just who's ever asking, you might want to, convey that. But they did. They came out. Council was receptive. We had the study done, and after the study was done, it did appear to be warranted by the speed that were going along there. I can tell you that the same thing happened on Baptist, and we were able to get a 5 mile per hour reduction on Baptist, but we were not able to get any kind of reduction on Brown, just a 5.
Okay. But like I said, does anybody think it's worth bringing up while the county's in our area? I mean, they're literally right down the road.
We wouldn't bring it up to County Public Works. We have to go through I think it's their traffic engineering department. We met with the county within the last 5 years because of the issue with the accidents on the bend, just north of Mackinac. They discussed a lot of different options. They weren't inclined to put a red light anywhere. They weren't inclined to put stop signs anywhere on Brownsville. What they were willing to do, their solution based on the traffic studies at the time, was better signage. The borough decided to put the radar speed signs up there just for a little more added effect. They weren't even willing to do that. What they did is they put the chevrons on the bend, and then they painted the white signs on the roadway to warn people to slow down and showing which way the curvature of the road's going to go. And my time being here, and prior to me, every serious accident, especially the fatalities on that bend, have not necessarily been speed, they've been related to DUIs.
In most of the cases, aren't they all on Brownsville Road? It's not Mackinac at all. Am I right where that intersection is? Most of the accidents we've heard, major accidents, have all been coming down Brownsville Road. At the bend, and that's why we put
In that
those
specific,
lights.
I mean, we've had other serious accidents in other parts of Whitehall and other roadways, but that bend has probably had the most fatal accidents, and the vast majority of them have been related to driving under the influence. We've also had several motor vehicle accidents during the day on the straightaway of Brownsville. For whatever reason, people veer off driving home from work, and they like to take out telephone poles.
Can I make a comment or anything?
Sure.
Just real quick. When you make a right-hand turn on a West Club, you can see from Prairie direction easier. And when you're gonna make a left-hand turn, what the problem is, there's a little dip right across from where the golf course is, right there. And the dip is so low that when you make the left, you think it's okay, then the next thing you know, there's somebody right on your tail. I think if something could be done with that dip, just to make, I don't know if it can be done, to make it a little bit higher, because I have an SUV, and I can see that. If you're in a low car, you really can't, you know, see that too well, and then the cars come, if you would just try to make that left, you would see what I'm talking about. You really can't see because how it dips down. And I think that would take care of some of the problem, but again, I just wanted to mention that because you might not know that if you don't live there.
Right.
So,
Experience that.
that's why everybody that had children on that street, no matter what, they said make the right-hand turn and go and turn around. They never make a left-hand turn out of there. They learn to drive.
Coming
So,
fast, too.
yeah. So, just wanted to mention that. You might not know
No.
that.
Mr. Solicitor, this is a question for you. Since the engineer has given a summary of this report to Whitehall Council, with its attached itemized list of scope costs, and the map was also mentioned in the engineer's report. I just want to know, would it be all right to go ahead and add that to the minutes as they become approved of this, because we've had the new convention of including everything about the Gateway Engineers reports.
It's up to council how they want things attached to the minutes.
Um,
There's no legal impediment to it.
Yes, I would like to request that this be included in the scope.
Okay, so what you're saying, Bethlehem, you want to have this report that Scott just referenced and you talked about, added to the official minutes that's going to be published?
Absolutely. It was part of the engineer's report, and we said that that's what we were going to do, and I think that that's in accordance with what we were going to do.
I think that would happen. Well, it's going to be part of the minutes or not, right? So the minutes, you know, it's either part of the minutes or, you know, if you want it to be part of the minutes, the staff will make it part of the minutes. If the council
Just
doesn't,
make a consensus.
then when it comes up to the vote, so it's not want to approve it without the, you know, the report can be discussed at that time. It's like, you know, they can prepare either way.
It would be part of the motion in the next meeting for
Right.
approval of these meeting minutes.
To clarify, or are we going to have to make a motion to motion, or is this going to be a part of the approval of the minutes?
So I think when the minutes are circulated, you know, there'll be, if people, if they're there, if council didn't want it or wanted it, they would be able to change it, but we wait the minutes, staff prepare.
Very well.
So
Very
that have
well.
all the pictures and all the goodies in it too?
Yep. Matt?
And
So,
that's
so
presented.
when the president calls for, is there any additions or corrections?
Letter to the
minutes?
borough?
Bethlehem can make a motion that in addition to the minutes would be.
Preliminary estimates.
Okay,
Or
yeah.
mayor, if they're not included, if they are included, someone can make a motion to exclude them.
Okay.
But
So that'll be at the next meeting.
I guess, you know.
So the staff could choose to include it on their own based on prior decisions of council, and if they are, then it's moot. If they're not, then the motion could be made to add that to the minutes.
Yes, that's the process.
So I
It'll be
can-
one or the other.
Which will be done in the next
But
meeting.
no legal issue.
Very well.
All righty. Okay, anything else here? We have, manager, Ms. Works.
First item of my report is in regards to the internal infrastructure and live streaming. In your packet, you have quotes that were received from 3 vendors. The lowest quote received was number is deducted from our annual contract. So that being said, I ask that council accept the low quote, to accept the live streaming quote from Data Communications in the amount of $11,713.50.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Next up on my report and included in your packet is the PennDOT snow and ice agreement. The state has forwarded the new agreement covering the years of the winter seasons 2024 and /2025 through 2029-2030. The reimbursable amount for this current winter season is $19,092.66. There will be 2% annual increases over the length of the 5-year contract. So council will need to pass a resolution, which is in your packet there, authorizing council president and myself to sign the agreement, which is also in your packet. So before you, I ask for a motion to first read the resolution and then adopt it.
I'll make a motion, we read the resolution.
Second.
Motion made second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Be it resolved by authority of the council of the borough of Whitehall, Allegheny County, it is hereby resolved by authority of the same that the council president of said municipality be authorized and directed to sign the attached agreement on its behalf. I ask for a motion to approve resolution 1040.
So moved.
Second.
A roll call vote?
Ms. Book?
Yes.
Mrs. Depew?
Yes.
Mrs. Eicher?
Yes.
Mr. Lucetti?
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Soborowski?
Yes.
And Mr. Dees?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Unanimously. Thank you.
Next on my report is in regard to the pension MMOs. The borough's actuary has prepared the MMOs for both plans, the police and the non-uniform. The police MMO is $907,807. The non-uniform MMO is $152,939. The non-uniform plan decreased by almost $18,000, while the uniform plan increased almost $40,000. So I ask that council authorize these figures for the 2025 borough budget.
So moved.
A couple questions for discussion. I know on both the police and the non-uniform plan that this was prepared using the January 1st of 2023 valuation of what we saw payroll being like back then. But we've had raises, we've had some turnover. How are we sure that these numbers are accurate given the turnover?
That's
Can I answer that? Okay, so we had a pension meeting, right? And we discussed this at the meeting. And these are professional people that are coming up with these numbers. So we have to rely, there isn't anybody on, I don't think, maybe the solicitor, who's capable of, second guessing our professionals who have, come up with these numbers. So I would say that, we should just accept them. And remember that it's not like we're losing money. We're just taking it from one place where the borough has control, and we're putting money in another place where the borough has control. In the pension fund, we're still in control of that, that pension. We're not, it's not like we're giving it to somebody and we're losing it. If we made a mistake, it's just going to another pot, another account that we have. So I wouldn't worry about it. No, there's not anybody looking around here, except for maybe the solicitor, that would attempt to second guess the actuary and the people that come up with these figures.
Well, we did have a $300,000 misallocation just this year in the pension, so I'd like to definitely make sure that this is okay. I want to make sure any staff that, is going to collect a pension, this is all good for
We
them.
didn't have a misallocation.
Okay, then what was it?
What was it? We were told, do you want to?
It was a clerical error. Instead of making the MMO payment in one payment, 2 transactions were made. The borough lost no funds. The pension funds themselves lost no funds. They are actually, the non-uniform in fact is overfunded. They're very healthy.
Exactly. And it's just moving it from one borough account to
But
another.
we did
borough
have to
account.
pay like a penalty, right?
No, we didn't have to pay a penalty.
The
What we
loss
had to
and-
do,
the
we had to
loss and-
fund, look, again, the accounts are all ours. They're ours. We're not giving it to somebody else, a third party somebody. They're our accounts. It's either a pension account or it's, our general operating account. And it went from general operating, we put in additionally more money to the pension. But it's still, we have control of all that. So we didn't lose any money. It was just we needed to, provide
That's
more.
fine, I just wanted to make sure, because, I wanna make sure our guys are good later in life. In, the last pension meeting, you said that you would invite me to, and you did, and it was like at noon, and you invited me like the day of. So maybe next time, can I just wanna make sure.
Okay.
It's just an annual thing, right?
If I may, I sit on the police pension committee. Your question was about 2023 figures?
Yes,
That-
yes.
That report is on a 2-year cycle, right? The next one isn't due until 2025. But the borough has to make an annual payment to the pension. So the actuary, they have a formula that's complicated that they use to show what the municipality's minimal municipal obligation, that's what MMO stands for, is each year. So they are going off of 2023, but the formula that they use factors in cost of living adjustments, actuary tables and inflation, and then in 2025, the next study is done. That's used for 2 years. That's a state standard. It's under Act 600 and Act 205. We don't really have any control over that. The state tells the auditors how to do this. They have a whole procedure set in place. Actually, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, so all of this is coming from outside professional who's looking at
Yes.
this. This is their job to do.
Using
Correct.
under state law. And we're slightly overfunded in the non-union, and the union is as solid as it can be, the police pension.
I've been the police pension representative on the committee for almost a decade now. Trust me, if there was a problem with the retirees, we would know there's never been. With any of them.
I have one other question. I do note that we had gone down. Was it due to the percentage or the number of active participants in the non-uniform payroll?
It's a number of factors. It's again, a formula. It takes into account various actuarial tables, forecasts. Actuarial science is a science beyond my comprehension, to be quite honest. So it can't pinpoint it to one specific factor.
Okay, well, because I did note that the Commonwealth's rate did decrease, so I do believe that would be possible, that the percentage rate decreased from last year, but it would be nice to know exactly how this table was calculated, as I had specifically requested prior. Thank you.
Okay, well, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
And then just a quick grant update on our tennis court refurbishment grant. That has been submitted, and we did gain County Council Member John Palmieri's support thanks to their no walks intervention. So fingers crossed on that.
Great.
And then, last but not least, this morning, the chief and myself spoke with our IT about our .gov domain. We have secured Whitehall Boro, BORO officially. They will not allow us to retain Whitehall Boro spelled out.
For trying.
Yeah, we did attempt. I went back and forth quite a bit. But that being said, we have turned over those domains to our IT, and we're going to start the process of moving everything over, and we are confident that that will happen within the month.
Does that affect email addresses as well?
Yes, it will be the email and the website, but catch me if I'm wrong here. Basically, your existing .org email will redirect to your .gov. At some point, we will need to look at new business cards, but for the time being, it will still function and will show up in your boxes.
Do you think?
We still maintain ownership of the .org.
Correct. Yes, we still have that domain.
Do you think that the reason that they would not give us both is that there are other Whitehalls in the country? Because I know Whitehall, we get confused
Well, that's
with Whitehall
township.
Township, it's at
Oh,
the
there, that's
it's
right.
at the other end of the state, but if there's another Whitehall, say in the state of Ohio, and they wanted a, Whitehall they would not be able to get that, right?
They didn't explicitly state that there, but I'm sure that is a component of it. Their rationale is that they only assign one .gov per entity, so you can't sit on them necessarily. And I'm sure it's because there are many other Whitehall boroughs, not PA, but maybe Ohio, California, Texas, but they did not explicitly state that.
Yeah, for instance, there was 2 Jefferson boroughs in the state of Pennsylvania, one in York County and one here, and that's the reason why Jefferson Borough changed its name to Jefferson Hills, because it was getting confused with the Jefferson Borough that's in York County. So that's probably why we couldn't keep up.
I would doubt it.
A slight comment. One of the reasons we're changing is that a conference we were at, several of us heard the speaker talk about it's a .gov. There are some protections that the government can help you with. Some things they can help you with. That's the reason for this change. Something goes wrong with it, and hopefully we might be able to get a little help.
And a number of municipalities are doing it. I think this morning Dennis said that he had 3 calls already about this specific transition, so it is becoming the norm across municipalities.
Good, thank you. Move on to assistant manager's report.
I do not have a report this evening.
Okay, thank you. Our committee reports, public safety, Mr. Bean.
Thank you, Madam President. Just one report here from the chief. Chief reports traffic cameras at the intersection of Route 51 and Streets Road, Run Road, were updated last month. This was a joint capital project between Whitehall and Baldwin Police Departments. Representative Mr. Cannon continues to search for grant funding to cover the cost of this upgrade. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Bean? Move on to administrative services, Mrs. Depew.
Unfortunately, administrative services committee meetings as all committee meetings, have to be advertised. And they were all advertised in January. So we're not able to have a meeting about changing the structure of this room. So that is on hold, but that's one of the reasons why, because the state says we have to advertise and do it at that time. So that's all I have.
When will that be?
They're October
28th?
No, I don't know. 28th, Monday?
No, it's the
The 8th.
What is it?
Yes, October 8th.
Oh, sorry.
So like the group probably won't be changed till next year if it changes at all.
Probably. To be honest, probably. Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. Planning and zoning, Mr. Lucetti.
Yes, Planning Commission will meet next week, September 11th. The Commission plans to continue work on prospective zoning ordinance amendments regarding uses in commercial zoning districts. The Zoning Hearing Board will meet on Tuesday, September 17th, and the following items are on the agenda. To render a decision on case 2024 ZHB 07 for 4541 County Club Drive, the applicants appealed the denial of an accessory use building permit by the Borough Zoning Officer pursuant to the maximum height requirements in the zoning code. And they will hold a hearing for 5301 Grove Road, Suite 639. The applicant requests the variance to allow an enclosed freezer cooler addition at Gianna Via Restaurant to encroach into a required yard on a corner lot. Additionally, earlier this year, the Planning and Zoning Committee met to discuss drafting a sidewalk installation policy. And that came about after a resident back in February made mention of wanting more sidewalks in the borough. That specific issue was about sidewalks along Grove Road. And while the actual implementation of sidewalks is more difficult and costly discussion, we first need to have a policy on sidewalks in the borough in general. And I just wanted to check with council that this is something to continue pursuing. Our next steps would be to get feedback from the borough engineer and solicitor, and then having another committee meeting to discuss and then move the policy along the process. So this is just to confirm that this is something to pursue for this committee, a sidewalk installation policy. Objections?
Does council have any comments on this? Pursue it?
Yeah, this is
Did
just
you wanna-
have a policy and then fine tune it and then present it to council for further discussion.
Okay, good.
Why not?
Right,
Good.
okay,
That's all I have to report. Thank you.
thank you. Library, Ms. Thomas.
Yes, the library board will meet next Wednesday, and we'll have a full report at the following meeting on the 18th here with council. But I would like to at the library will be an evening, a magical night at Whitehall Public Library featuring a Baldwin resident and graduate, Lee Trebozic, who is rather famous for his magic and his illusion skills. I've actually seen him live. He's quite impressive. Tickets are $35 a person. It includes drink tickets. There will be refreshments and snacks and lots of other activities held throughout the library that night. Really encourage everybody to go onto the library's website and register. Tickets are only $35. They're going fast, so please come and join us. I'll be there. It's super fun. So come see us at the library. That's all I have. Thank you, Madam
All right,
President.
thank you. Any questions for Ms. Thomas? Move on to Public Works, Ms. Eifert. Oh, I'm sorry, Recreation, Mr. Soborowski.
Yeah, Hannah's here.
Hello. So the pool season has come to an end, unfortunately. We've received an abundance of comments thanking the pool staff, maintenance, and administrative staff on a wonderful summer. Residents are counting down the days until Memorial Day in 2025. Some feedback we did receive, which is a quote, "Such a great summer, enjoying meeting new friends and hanging out with old friends in the neighborhood. Friendly staff, they did a great job keeping an eye on everyone, and look forward to next summer. Thank you for the great memories for sure." Staff appreciates feedback and likes hearing the positive comments like these. It really highlights the great asset the pool is to the community. Our total revenue for 2024 is $154,376.34, and we average about 450 people a day. We are already working on expanding activities for the 2025 pool season. To jump into Community Day, the survey has closed. I wanted to share with you some data and comments about Community Day. 80% of people saw advertisements for Community Day on Facebook. 67% saw yard signs. 75% of those people participated in vendor booths, the highest activity, and 95% of people said they would attend Community Day in 2025. Most of the additional comments included, "It's our favorite day of the year," and "Another great job, well done. We have the most amazing Community Day, thanks to all that make it happen." And then planning has begun for Community Day, August 9th of 2025. Unfortunately, due to the weather over the weekend, we were unfortunately unable to have our last concert in the park. We had a great summer of concerts, and I've already scheduled bands for 2025 concert series. Touch a Truck is this Sunday, September 8th from 12 to 3 at Baldwin High School. Children of all ages can experience and explore the exciting vehicles, come out for a fun-filled day, grab a bite to eat and a sweet treat. The communication plan that was adopted by Council in April 2022 has been a great resource of feedback for the Recreation Department and engaging residents. Staff is accomplishing many objectives in our mission to inform residents about borough news, activities, and events. We continue to build upon these successes and do what we can to inform the residents. Recently, I posted a Princess and Superheroes party on our event portal without any advertisement at all, just simply posting that. We have sold over 50 tickets. And then lastly, our events are becoming so well known by vendors in the community. I've had multiple food trucks reach out to me wanting to get on our calendar because what they've heard about our event.
Wonderful.
Great
Anna,
job, Sharon.
thank you.
Great
And the
summer
Recreation Board, thank
Yes.
them all from council and the community. Do a fantastic job. Okay, next we have Public Works, Ms. Eifert.
I have nothing to report, and I'm going to turn it over to the borough manager to see if there is anything to report on the hiring that she is doing for a new public works laborer.
Applications were due on Monday. Eric has been out, so I've not had a chance to connect with him in his review of, who we would like to bring in for interviews. Nothing to report yet.
I think you meant Tuesday, but yes, thank you.
I'd just like to add for Public Works, the job they did on the sign up front. I don't know if
Oh, yeah, it
this was
looks
mentioned
great.
yet.
Beautiful, yes, thank you for
Pass
bringing
along
that up.
that.
It is gorgeous,
Fabulous
yes,
job.
very nice. Okay. All right, next we have Parks, Mr. Dupuy.
Okay, the Parks Committee of a very interesting meeting. Threw around lots of ideas and suggestions. Kind of would like to suggest that there are some grants out there for some maybe low-hanging fruit, some grants that we could get, maybe mulch or a paved walk into something. And we're thinking that it probably is worthwhile to go ahead and get those before we plan another major renovation like we did at Overlook Park. But the second part of it was there was a sports summit meeting. The major sports, I think Baldwin was there, someone from Baldwin, and someone from Whitehall. Courtney was there. I did not attend because we didn't want to make it a political type meeting. So it was pretty much the sports getting together to talk about what they needed and to talk to one another about what they needed. So can you fill them in on that?
Yes, so Hannah and I
Would you
started,
turn around so they can all hear
Hannah and I
you?
started meeting with the sports organizations, the youth sports organizations, almost 3 years ago. So we've been really engaging them to get feedback from them on what are their needs. They are vastly growing in different ways that I don't think anyone really anticipated. I personally didn't know what lacrosse was 5 years ago. It's huge. So we've been meeting with them in the background. We did meet again last evening. We updated them on the most recent Parks Committee meeting and discussed these, we call it our small projects priority list, to get their feedback. If there's something they're seeing in the parks that we're not, to bring it to our attention. If there's something on this list that they don't think is as big of a priority maybe as we do. So we're waiting for feedback on that. We've updated them on the playground installation at Highlands, making sure that we work around their permits. Also Overlook Park, the update on that. That won't impact any of their ability to use the park next year. We will make sure that the steps are sectioned off.
Excuse me, while you're on Overlook Park, you did show them the estimated cost of doing the whole park. The original plan, drainage for baseball and all.
So
they know about what that would cost.
Correct.
Which
And
was
their-
over 750,000.
just under 800,000. And their consensus was essentially that that's great, but they would like to see that kind of money and funding directed to Snyder. If you recall, back in the fall, we had done a design meeting and engaged the community with, I believe it was 4 plans. Overwhelmingly, design number 6, which was a multi-sport, use of that park, was identified as the preference of the people and the groups. That's going to be very expensive. So I think putting that into perspective, they appreciated that. They talked with us about grant opportunities that they may have for, a football organization or soccer organization through Dick's Sporting Goods. And they are willing to leverage, what they can get as a 503C. Thank you. And work with that to come up with a funding plan if that is the intent, of council and the committee. So really great positive discussion. They, repeatedly said that they appreciate that Hannah and I continue to engage them and just keep tabs. Often in youth sports organizations, your kid ages out, you see some turnover there. So it's really been helpful to have some type of consistency and keeping records to fill them in on the conversations in the past and where we want to go. That being said, they did request that we have another meeting in about 2 months' time, and they would like to bring Baldwin Boro back into the conversation as well as the school district. When we first started this 2 years ago, we invited all the municipalities in Baldwin Whitehall School District. Baldwin Boro did attend. We had some representation from the school district, and then that kind of fell off for whatever reason, but Hannah and I have stuck it out, continuing to engage them and making it known that they can communicate with us. So we're going to try for that sometime in November and report back then.
Good job. Thank you for your engagement and continuing to work with those groups. I think that communication is going to be super important as we're moving forward with Snyder and other park improvements. So thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. Okay, next are delegate reports, and I'll go first. The Allegheny County Boroughs Association and Allegheny League of Municipalities, and I'll be attending next month the fall conference. So when I come back, I'll report on that. You always have a lot of interesting updates, of course. Pennsylvania State Association of Boroughs, April 2nd, every year we have resolutions that are proposed by anyone in the community can give an idea. We write a resolution and submit it. And our PSAB are lobbyists in Harrisburg, and we've got a lot of things, again, I know I mention it often, but it can't be stressed enough. The mayor's radar and our roads with the borough sewage repairs and stuff, yes. So we have a lot of things up there from Whitehall Boro, on behalf, so people give us an idea, we'll write something up and see how it flies up there. All the membership, the 956 boroughs in Pennsylvania vote on it, and then our lobbyists go up there, like I said, so, anything can happen. If you have a good idea, just pass it on to us, we'll discuss. Next, we have our Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Beef.
I refer to Court, I think you go to those lunches, right?
Yes, and actually, there is one tomorrow. Hannah and I will be attending, and the superintendents from both the Brentwood School District and the Baldwin Whitehall School District will be attending. So really looking forward to that. They've got a couple events coming up in September. On the 14th is their annual shredded event at the GD Life on Route 51. So if anyone has anything to get rid of,
What date is that, the shred?
that's the September 14th.
Thanks.
And then they have their annual community golf outing on the 16th of September. That's a Monday. And then looking forward to next month, the October 3rd luncheon, our chief of police will be speaking with his counterparts from Baldwin and Brentwood. We're looking forward to that. And then we will actually be hosting a coffee chat here in council chambers on the 15th.
Okay.
Of October, yes.
Thank you very much. Lots of activity there. Birds aboard. Mr. Luce?
Yes, Bertha Board met last week on August 28th. Just to update numbers, Whitehall had 257 calls in July of 2024, and that was an 8% reduction from the previous month. And the average response time for emergent calls was 7 minutes 39 seconds, which is below their MRTSA's goal of 8 minutes. But the more important part is another money request. MRTSA is beginning their annual membership drive. They've started their requests online with social media, and in October you should be expecting mailings. So keep your eye out for that, and then please renew your membership.
Okay, thank you. Shane Clark.
It's me again.
Mr. Beef.
Okay, I did attend a meeting on the 15th of August. Judge Ron Arnone was there, and a question was asked regarding how do you catch violators of deer that are feeding them, because you can't, it's very difficult to do. So Mark, this might help you. I don't know, maybe we tie this. He said in Upper St. Clair and Upper Park, they actually use cameras. They have the, I don't know if they discreetly hide the cameras. I don't know, but anyway, that's, because you know you can't do anything unless you just be hacked, am I right? So they're using cameras, and they're having a little bit of success with that. All right, I'm just passing on what they do.
Or if you're a neighbor, you see, violation of Whitehall Borough ordinances, you could be the witness.
Put a little camera on deer's head.
We can put that in a budget next year. Second thing, this is good news. We are in the first year of a 5-year contract with Waste Management, and we were all shocked at the 30% increase that we had to pay. You know what the increase is now? Approximately 87%. So we're very fortunate that we got in when we did. All right, we got at least another almost 4.5 years left. So, and then the third item, Courtney's aware of this as well. Lou Gorsick, who's been at Shadcock, I think, since executive director since 1984, 85. He's been there forever. Anyway, they're looking into the succession plan. Lou's not real excited about this, but it's the idea of this. He's not going anywhere. So he's not going anywhere. But they don't, because of his age and things like that, they want to have a plan, just kind of what we did here, similar with, Mr. Leventree and Courtney. So we just want to have a plan in place, and that's what they're talking. I think there's, 4 borough managers that are involved in that right now?
At least, yes.
Okay. All right. I think that's all I got.
Okay.
That's a really good report, wasn't it?
It is.
was.
Thank you, Mr. Beef.
Mr. Beef, and Ms. Swartz, any updates on tracking down that title for that old Vector truck?
I haven't heard, Beth. Have you, Court? I mean, I know
We've
that.
identified the title belongs to Allegheny. The chief ran them in for us, but it is
stored here.
Mhm.
Now we just gotta get a hold of the entity. The entity might not still be in
Well, that's
existence.
the, yeah.
And it's gonna have to probably be towed out, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And we can't just tow it and discard it because that would be theft, we don't know. And if we just have to go through the county.
Which Lou is working on, but again, it's the county,
Do
that's
you
the.
have a time limit here? I mean, how long do we have to wait for
Crazy.
them to respond?
20 years.
I mean, I know we're doing what we can, reaching out, as Ms. Seifert suggested, but, so.
We're not
Status
Just
quo.
treat it like
Oh, I
abandoned
understand.
property in Prospect Park.
We started
No, we do.
storage fee for it.
Yes.
Well, it costs some money, then the more quickly we get rid of it.
You're right there. Okay, well,
The police department deals with the abandoned vehicles and issues like that.
yeah.
I know that people don't like seeing it there. Luckily, the pool's closed now. The lot doesn't get as much use as it does. I think we're better off going through the county process for them to identify who owns it and to give the proper instructions and permission to have it towed out here and destroyed. And to be honest with you, they own it. They should get it and have it destroyed.
Thank you, Chief. Much appreciated.
Well, thank you. And that was new business?
Yes.
Huh?
I have one too. Go ahead, Lisa.
Okay, yes, thank you. So, for council and for those here that were here in our meeting a month ago, I brought up the idea of a new program to facilitate matching people within the community that need assistance with outdoor projects, with people that are willing in the community to volunteer to assist those. I've been working with Ms. Wirtz, Mr. Furman, in an effort to get this program on the ground a little bit more. We are still in the works, but I wanted to kind of provide a little bit of a teaser maybe on where we're headed with this. So we will have the ability to have folks in the community say, I need help. What do you need help with? Snow. We don't have a lot of it anymore, but snow. Leaves. So many leaves are coming our way, right? Grass cutting, and then maybe light leading spring cleanup, okay? We're starting small, we're starting outside, we're starting where our program can really gain traction, getting our residents that need assistance to sign up. We'll have a variety of ways for that to happen. There are gonna be some requirements around that. Two of the main kind of requirements, though this isn't the full list, please understand that. We're looking at folks that are 62 years of age or older, or someone that has a physical disability and is unable to do these types of chores kind of outside of their home. On the other side, we'll have an area to gather online, stopping in the borough building, volunteers. We are starting with folks that are of the age of 18 or older. However, we know that we have a lot of young folks that really want to get involved in their community. We just need them to have an adult that's 18 years of age or older with them. So a whole family can go and volunteer together. It's a great way to teach your kids how to be a neighbor, right? It's a great way for our sports teams to come and get a big project done at a neighbor's yard with their coach, right? So there is more to come. There will be a sign-up sheet on both sides and a really nice streamlined way through our borough office to get folks connected that need help with those that are willing to help. Once we have absolutely everything lined up, we'll announce the name and the start date of the program. Do we need anything from council? Do we need a resolution or an ordinance or something?
I
An
think
approval?
that Ms. Wirtz is still tracking down some information.
She is from
I think-
the insurance
I think
company, but
At that point, I think
then we can do it.
probably talk about what it actually looks like. I'm sorry, I think Ms. Wirtz is looking through some, talking with our insurance provider to make sure, things are covered in that way. And I think once that gets streamlined and finalized, we can, bring it to council and try to get time to do it.
And Mary indicated she'll come back to me by tomorrow morning, so hopefully I'll have something soon.
Will part of the project be security clearance for people who are volunteering to help? That's the kind of vetting that the police
Yeah,
department.
there'll be
Yeah.
waivers, those kind of things
Yes.
that are to come. This is my first draft.
Yes. We want to make sure everybody can safely participate on both sides. Absolutely. But if anybody has any comments, anybody has any questions or concerns, go ahead and email me. It's not a problem.
Very catchy name.
We're still working on it. It'll be revealed once it comes up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah, I have one. I want to remind everyone that next week from today, September 11th, which is Patriot Day, John Delano, prominent political reporter for KDKA, is going to come to Whitehall Boro. This is sponsored by the Whitehall Boro Historical Society, and talk about Pennsylvania's role in the upcoming election. This is a huge, very important election coming up. And the fact that we have such a prominent speaker to come and talk to us, I think behooves all of us, if we're available, to go to this, attend this. And you have to register, I believe, through the Historical Society? Library too.
Either one.
Either one. So you can register through the Whitehall Public Library, or you can register through the Whitehall Borough Historical Society. But it's very important that you register, and it's very important that we, have a great crowd there that shows that we are, civic minded, and we're trying to get great information before the upcoming election. So please, if you're available next week, come to that presentation.
2 nights ago, there were 62 seats left.
Is that right? Okay.
Thank you, Mayor, for bringing that up, because he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's entertaining besides being so informational, and he really engages the audience. He's wonderful. So
He is.
thank you for-
He's really good. And I think part of it, Eric, may be that we switched the date so many times.
Yeah,
People may have.
that's true.
So that's why I'm making sure that
Thank you.
I'm bringing it up now. But talk to your friends. Don't just sign up yourself, but talk to the people in your neighborhood, because this is a very prestigious event for Whitehall Borough to have. John just doesn't do this for for anyone, and so he's doing it for us, and I think we should honor him by filling that room.
Very good,
Okay.
yes. And there's no other new business. I want to turn over the adjournment to Mr. Beath.
Yeah, I'd like to, lost a close friend this week. I think a lot of you people know who he is. Memory of a gentleman who coached and taught at Baldwin High School for 49 years. His name was Ed Helbig, and just a quality guy. I mean, if anybody knows anything about track and field up at Baldwin and the Baldwin Invitation, it is one of the most prestigious meets in Western Pennsylvania, might be all of Pennsylvania. And I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to work with Ed. And he suffered for 1.5 years, so in a way it might have been a blessing, but it's very hard to accept. What a quality guy.